Good morning. Welcome to Adio and the Guru on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. It's a lovely Monday. I was going to say Tuesday for some reason. But we're getting on with the show and you're welcome. You'd know why I almost said Tuesday in a moment. But today's edition is special on Adio and the Guru. And if you have been following or you are a friend of the Guru, you'd know why I said so. But sit back, fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be an exciting ride. Now, it's never Adio and the Guru without, of course, having the distinguished presence of a veteran journalist, a man of many accomplishments, who's not only a veteran journalist, but also a man of many, shall I say, insightful understanding as to the happenings of why things are the way they are. He's also the man with historical perspective. He's a father at heart. He's a mentor, teacher, leader, inspiration, and many more. Of course, he's here with us today. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Godwin Etakibwebu, the Guru, and he's looking all bright and yellow today.
Yes. If I don't look like that, would you drive me away from the studio?
Well, when the sun comes to shine, the rain goes away.
Sometimes when the sun is overshining, the rain comes and Good morning, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. You are welcome, Adu and the Guru. For the purposes of this, I brought two professionals that will do justice to the topic. And the topic today, under discussion in this colloquium, is when and how the boom turns to become doom for Nigerians. We are talking of the oil. I brought two gentlemen here. They are not only just gentlemen, but they are professionals. They are seasonal concerning the subject matter. Two others have been stepped down for the purpose of this occasion. Let me put it this way. NNPC was 1977 product, meaning NNPC was established in 1977. Then NNPC Limited was establishment of 2 days ago. So let us say 1977 it was NNPC. 2022 it has become now NNPC Limited. The good news is that President Olusegun Obasanjo, then General Olusegun Obasanjo, as military head of state, went into the venture of NNPC. And in 1977 to this, we have about almost 40 years. The Minister of Petroleum Resources in 1977 was Muhammadu Buhari. Then he called Muhammadu Buhari. Then the first chairman of the NNPC when it was established was Muhammadu Buhari. The first refinery in Nigeria was built in 1965 by Tafawa Balewa government. So that was the first refinery. The trajectory of the Nigerian petroleum industry brought us, after many years of laboring in the wood and whatever have you, in 1956, where we were told that our oil, we have got a quantity that will put us in the marketplace, and from henceforth we shall be taking it overseas. But I have it on authority that our crude had always been moving away from Nigeria across the sea by some foreigners. As we go through this thing, I will have a breakdown of it. And I will break it down to dates. From that 1946, we may take some steps backwards. We just have to back on that memory.
1956, you mean, sir?
1956, Oloibiri.
No, Oloibiri.
You said 1946 so that the audience will not say. I said 1956, you mean?
I said 1956.
But you just said 46.
Oh, it was a slip of tongue.
Okay. From the beginning, I said 1946.
1956.
I mean 1956. 1956. When we were told, oh, our oil is good, but our crude have always been going around Europe for nothing less than 20 years before, meaning that will be a smuggling act. Meaning smuggling is an act that will be as old as the world would recognize. So, at what point had the oil become boom for us? Was it before the 1956 where Shell was there? At what time was our oil crude finding its way outside Nigeria? Has it gotten anything to do with the tide, the selling, the accommodation of somewhere? Who was there to sell shares in London? We get all this out by the grace of God today. And it is for that purpose, so that we can really get it out, that I have these two gentlemen immediately looking at me directly, who made the correction, who told me how to apologize better, is Obaro Ugadhe. There is no doubt. I really don't need to introduce this man because the name is being known across Nigeria, all over the world, when it comes to petroleum matter. So, Obaro, sir, we want to thank you for coming to let Nigeria's people know what exactly are those areas of the industry that you want to talk about. For coming in to unveil all those presenting facts behind the facade, all the lies, and probably telling us which direction we should be looking at if we were able to rescue anything from this ship that is about to sink. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Guru. Thank you, listeners all over the world. Mr. Guru, permit me, because when we get into the nitty-gritty, it might escape my memory. Happy birthday. Tomorrow is your birthday, and today edition will be worth it. Thank you. And,
thank you very, very much.
The gentleman...
No, I'm not introducing.
Okay.
I'm not introducing. It is not...
sorry, I didn't mention your name.
No.
Are you the Roro Kosi? Okay, the one that left is Roro and the media guys.
I think...
We have a lot of recording on them now. You mentioned them all the time.
Yes, Obaro. It is good that I brought you today because it affords me the opportunity of trying to know. I'm not saying knowing, but try to know the other side of Obaro. Okay, hold it there. Then to my immediate right, facing me too, is another expert, another professional. He's a chartered accountant, he's everything else, he's a commentator, but above all, he is a man that has been into the industry where black what do you call it?
Gold.
Black gold can become white diamond and can become white liability. Akin Fatunke was really, he worked in that industry for 29 years. And he has not really left the industry as we talk, because you look at him, he looks very much like a 25-year-old person. Well, I'm not too sure if he's not getting closer to 80, but let me not spoil your chances of meeting some other people. Yes, so, Akin, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, the Guru. Good morning, Nigerians. It's my pleasure to be here. You just talked about the black gold. It's fast turning to suits for all I care for right-thinking persons. So let me say, a great opportunity it is to drill down and be able to talk about boom, when, doom, when, and where we are at today. Thank you very much.
God bless you. So, what we are here to analyze is that the keepers of our crude, before 1956, when this thing was discovered at commercial quantity, I had let it out that it had always been in the international market, smuggled out. Not by Nigerians that time. Unlike now that we're being told that millions and millions of barrels are being stolen on daily basis, which is purely the IOCs backed by big and small Nigerians, coordinated efficiently. I'm talking of the stealing, coordinated efficiently by NNPC. Not officially, but some high-level people at the NNPC. We will start from the Royal Dutch Share Group to Share BRC, that is the fourth share company, to a Royal Dutch PLC that came into formation in 1907, and many other things. But in order, because the time is fast spent, in order to get to the nitty-gritty, because if I don't give these gentlemen the opportunity to explain it, we shall be more in darker arena. Now, we have 4 refineries for Nigeria, or in Nigeria. I am not too sure if the 4 ever function at maximum capacity more than 2/3 of the number of years that they've been around. That's number 1. I know that turnaround maintenance had always been paid for, but each time they are turned around, they come around dead as dodo. Of recently, when Olusegun Obasanjo, as a president, was to leave, he looked around and he said, the only solution for us to avoid subsidy, to avoid this, is to sell this refinery as scraps. And a law that packaged that was put into action. Unfortunately, his prestigious successor, Yar'Adua, came, and the first thing Yar'Adua did was to discard that good arrangement. And till today, we are still investing in the waste. Towards the ending of last year, $1.5 billion was borrowed to turn the refineries around. That's what we were told. But eventually, we knew they were talking of only one refinery in Port Harcourt. And those of us who can speak truth to power, we said no. Except this is take away benefits, the surveillance package. Otherwise, nothing will happen. That this money, they will just pick it and share it. When we said that at that time, some of them, they told us that, what are you talking about? It is now we are being justified, because it is now that the National Assembly that are always got budget for is this supervision? No, not supervision. They call
oversight function.
Oversight function. It is now they are just asking. We want to ask this question: is it now you are with all your oversight and you approve this money each time they come? So meaning the sharing formula at that time had failed, where most of them who are signatory to the approval, I'm talking about the National Assembly, most of them are not coming back anymore. Not because the Nigerian people have rejected them. Their mechanism, their own system within their own party, through primaries, have rejected them. So it is now they want to say, why did you take this? Why did you do this? And eventually, we said it, that the money had been shared and taken away. They told us no. But towards the beginning of this year, they now started giving us date that the work will be completed, and they say the thing will be delivered to Nigeria. And for now, we are going to have 90% full capacity. But eventually, they told us the full capacity or 90% capacity of the one they use will be ready for Nigeria around October. And we should not forget that on the 29th of May, this next year, by the grace of God, this government would have gone, handed over. So if the refinery will come fully at functional October 2023, who are we going to hold now to say, the refinery is not refining anything now? We wouldn't know who to hold. So these are the whole thing. So, sir, your assignment is very, very simple. Please let us know. So, listeners, this thing is going to go in form of discussion. So, I refer to this gentleman because it's a colloquium as discussant. Each of them will have 15 minutes to play with. Either they want to break it down into 5-minute segment. I am under their command to accept that. Or they want to take it fully, but none of them will enjoy more than this 15 minutes. Before I welcome them onto the podium, so to put it, podium of microphone, let me put this. Ado, please, let me just run through it. What should have been our menu? Okay. If this one had failed, what should have been our menu? 23 years, students lose cumulative 4 years to 16 ASU strikes. Within the last 23 years, ASU had embarked on 16 strikes. And the 16 strikes had cost in Nigeria students 4 years of not being in classroom. Kuje attack. Terrorists succeeded because they had superior firepower. It means all the investment we put in the security sector, as Babagana Kigibe, the national security advisor, told Nigerians, that became the truth. Those chief of staffs, those service chiefs, they use our money to drink a kamandogi and probably pounded them across the sea because they brought nothing. It is for that reason that the minister of a cabinet minister of this government just told us that the terrorists overran us because they came with great number of people. They came with superior equipment. Maybe the equipment they came with is probably superior to Tucano
jet.
Tucano jet. I'm only just mentioning, not that we'll discuss them. Kuje prison attacks. Number 3, Boko Haram terrorists overwhelmed security agencies with superior. We'll mention that. The electoral offenses, police await offenders list from INEC. We now know that by the reformed electoral law, because it's no more B, people like, I'm going to mention their names, people like Lawal Ahmad, who is the president of the Senate.
Yes.
People like what money cannot do, more money will do it. Goes to Akpabio. People like Dave Umahi, the governor of Boeing State, who said he was crossing over from PDP to APC so as to bring presidency of Nigeria to Igbo. He crossed over for Igbo. Plus many others. Let me use the word plus. Even Ima, governor of Cross River, Ayadi. All these people I mentioned, plus many others, they might soon become candidate either in Kirikiri prison or Kuje prison. This is the fact on ground. But now the police is saying, because INEC has not sent their name to them, they cannot prosecute. So the question here, I have started talking with Festus Okoye. INEC, why are you not sending this name so that these people can go to Kirikiri as fast as they should? Because they are prison candidates. I don't know whether they want to be sent to Kuje because they might be fearing that those boys might be coming back and they don't want to be victim of. So these people are already, they even pronounce their sentences to jail by themselves by saying, no, you cannot stop us because we bought forms for the presidency contest, we bought form for the Senate court, And
which is in
merely
clear
saying it, the electoral law says merely measuring it, that is a theft. Is for you to go to prison for 2 years. So I named them again: Lawal Ahmed, President of the Nigerian Senate; Akpabio, former governor of Akwa Ibom; my Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, who collapsed everything, including President Muhammadu Buhari. All of them, Ben Ayadi, which other? There are many. They are on their way to prison. So, but INEC, why can't you release the name now? The police are waiting for you. The Inspector General of Police, we are waiting because the law is this. So that they can. Or is INEC afraid? Nigeria cannot be compromised again.
INEC is afraid for its neck.
Okay, INEC is afraid for its neck. If you don't do what you are supposed to do, we Nigerians are ready to force you to do it now because it's according to the law. Then, finally, federal government is coming out with a proposal to ban Okada, that is motorcycles, all over Nigeria in order to curb insecurity. I don't know, whoever that brought that proposal must have been thinking more from his lower part of the body than the brain. Because if you have 400 names that were given to you, submitted, and you are not touching them, if you have your own security men escorting people to the forest to go and meet with them and deal with them, and you said it is not the interest of President Muhammad Buhari, this is how Sheikh Gabat said it. It is not the interest of President Muhammad Buhari to name them and to shame them. Then it's Okada. You will ban Okada all over Nigeria. The millions of Okada users all over Nigeria, any day that becomes the law, pack your loads and run away from Nigeria, because nobody will be able to cope with the criminality. Because all these boys that are riding the Okada will be turned to criminal. They must feed. Then finally, the word is that I don't know whether President Muhammad Buhari is sleeping at all, because he has been told that the terrorists have announced that they will kidnap him, they will kidnap Rufai. This is made public, it's in the public domain. Which brings the question, is somebody pretending, telling us that I'm still under attack, or because the person is a godfather to this gang? I don't know. So we are not going there. Gentlemen, you are welcome to, please be prepared to do what you're supposed to do. I don't know, where should I start from? Okay. Obaro told me to start with
a senior colleague.
Okay, senior.
I've always been here.
Okay, you've always been here.
Sorry.
But I think that should have been my decision as the moderator. But now you gave me one advice, I have to give excuse. I will follow. Akin.
Yes.
You are welcome. What will be the changes for betterment of Nigerians by transformation from NNPC and NNPC Limited? That is number one. But in order to get this thing, the question now that I ask, I want us to look at one fact. Please, it's a fact that we need to look at. Now that's good. I am there. We are there already. The new NNPC Limited. This is the composition. I call it State of the Nation and the NNPC Limited. The new owners as per CAC registrar, as Corporate Affairs Commission. Name of directors. 1, Yarimele Kolo. This Yarimele Kolo is sounding, because the documents that were prepared to admit Nigeria into offshore Duke Oil, offshore Yarimele Kolo was the man who did it on behalf of Nigeria. When he was still in the university, President Ibrahim Babangida picked him So, and that must be 29, 30, 31 years ago when he did it. The one that now brought the fuel. No, the fuel was purely brought from Europe at Atlas Cove here. They mix everything and almost kill us. So let me go straight through the name. Yari Mele Kolo, Ararume Ifeanyi Godwin, Akiyeleru Pius.
Akiyelure.
Akiyelure Pius Oluwole, Umar Sagi Tajuddin, Lawal Mohammed, Ahmed Lawal Oloyi, Okadigbo Mary. She is it not Margaret?
Margaret.
Yeah, because it's Mary they put here. Okadigbo wife is Margaret. Shibago. Then Onukogo, Constance Harry. Then Aliuma Isa Sani Gwozo Lasir, Ahmed Aliyu. The company secretary is Kumasi Hadiza Yusuf. The company is coming out with 200 billion ordinary share of 1 naira each. And the shareholders are only two people. Two people are the shareholders. The Ministry of Finance has 100 billion. Then Ministry of Petroleum Resources 100 billion. Person with significant control. Ministry of Finance Incorporated 50% voting right. Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated 50% voting right. Please, Nigerians, listen to this. And Akin, since you are the first to go now, listen to this. The above mentioned now is the status of joint patrimony as of today of the NNPC. Now, look at the names and geographical spread of directors and pass your own judgment. The names out there. The Southwest has only one person on the board. Southeast has 2 on the board. That is Arurume and Margaret. And South, where the petroleum crude is coming from, has only 1 person on the board. The remaining 7 are from the north. And the company secretary is also from the north. This is ratio of 4-8. This is, I rest my case for now. But Aki, what will be the difference in this cosmopolitan sharing?
Thank you again.
Your time starts counting now because I will look it for you.
Thank you again, the Guru. And thanks, Obaro, for passing the ball to me and to see whether I will be able to play it right inside the net or I miss a penalty. And I will tell you that this is moment of truth, and we dare not even make an attempt to miss a penalty. This is the time to tell truths to ourselves. This is not pointing fingers or looking for faults. But you know, my grandmother tells me that once you are able to, even if you failed, learn from that failure and see how you can then move ahead. So this is for generations unborn, and we must say it as it is. I will take my cue starting with this Barbara Tuchman's quote. It says history does not repeat itself. Man does. Yes,
it's not history that is repeating itself, but man. Okay.
Does. And what you just read out is man created. Not efficiency, not effectiveness, but a choice that you decide to make to deliberately fail. I mean, when you continue your macabre dance of failure, what you get is more additional failure and anguish. A boom started around 1973. Nigerians should remember the Yom Kippur Wars, 7-day war between Egypt and Israel, when Israel overran Egypt. 7 days.
The kilometer, what's called agreement. Go on.
And that was at the back of the OPEC restriction at that time. Nigeria went into a lot of boom. Oil went from about 3 cents in 1972-73, 3 cents, 3 US cents, and climbed to about $28 per barrel by about 1983. That was the period that people will remember retired General Gowon said that money was available everywhere. And
that his problem is not the money, but how to spend it.
And he didn't know what he was going to do with it.
Sorry, did it happen in Nigeria?
Yes.
Just same Nigeria?
Yes.
Same Nigeria. Okay, please continue.
And almost, in economics, you talk about cyclic. If you saw a boom, developmental economics will tell you that you better be expecting a gloom if you do not plan. And almost immediately in 1973, Nigerians will remember we started spending Udoji Awards. Our appetite went beyond the roof. And then one significant thing happened, that was the cement armada. You remember? We started paying for cement that was not delivered, and the ship that brought that cement got sunk at the Atlantic here. Monies at that time, when Saudi Aramco and Petrobras of Brazil also were within the OPEC, and they were investing. What did we do? Consuming, stealing, yes, mismanaging, and then raise our hands up to the whole world that we didn't know what to do with money. So, in the 70s, we had this difficult operating environment that came upon us like plague, especially after 2 major incidents. One in 1975, where we had the Petroleum Equalization Fund, whereby it says Guru, who stays in Kwara Namoda, will be buying petrol at the same price as Obaro, whose grandfather is in Delta.
On the crude.
And at the same time, Guru, who is in Kwara Namoda, who grows yam, sells his yam at a price that is going to be different if it is brought to Delta. So when it comes to this petrol, or what you call petrodollars, we started going mad. We started going crazy. Again, I will talk about the fact that we saw this coming. I worked in a company that was called Mobil.
Okay.
And we spoke truth to power. You need to go to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, eventually Securities and Exchange Commission. And you saw where we made statements that a day like this was going to come on Nigeria. Were they going to listen? No. Okay, well, so what then did we do? And we are going to stand ramrod. We are going to stand on the basis of honesty, integrity, because we are going for the long run. We, in the 70s, we expressed a strategic proposition. We knew the naira was going down and falling. We said to ourselves that we are going to maintain a constant US dollar based on the naira that we have, so that the devaluation will not come upon it. It's in our public reports. It was there. Like I said, ExxonMobil, what did we do? And what do we now have is the mobile house building that you see in towards, if you are going to Ekpe.
To the left.
And the irony of it is that while this was going on, we had a Minister of Petroleum in the name of Professor Jubril Aminu. And he said, this is just not possible. This cannot happen. He came to Lagos. He saw what we were doing.
For your information, sir, Professor Jubril Aminu was 9 years out of university when Nigeria got its independence. He was one of the first northerners to come. Go ahead.
So fluently.
Yes.
And he said, and the young Egyptians now say, yes, this is exactly what we are doing. This is what we need Nigeria to be doing. They turned that. their faces to the other side. I will go to the 80s. And then we got pressures on the gasoline supply and margins due to devaluation and US dollar to
just to announce to the public that you have got it 12 minutes gone.
22 naira to 1, cross-border inflows, onset of refinery failure started at that time. Don't forget, we took a decision that we are going to have refineries. Economists talk about when you have it near your factor endowment. We decided we are going to put one in Kaduna. And I'd like to say, today, we have a situation where, look at the balance sheet if you can produce one. Not only is it that they have run gradually to a loss, we are just down there. During Gowon's time, in 1973, we have price modulation of 6 naira to move to 8 naira 48 kobo. Down the line today, what do we have? In 2022, under Buhari, from 165 is going to 195 as we speak now. My point, therefore, is to answer your question directly. What we have today in the NNPC is another dance, another palongo dance, when we should really be looking at governance. I see it as a half-filled bottle. That does not mean that the other half is empty. And let's call it as it is. We need to raise for development. I got into trouble when I spoke at an international forum where NNPC big guns were, and I said I couldn't understand it. The guru, remember this? The king must dance naked. And then everybody was now saying, yeah, everything was going on. I said, but it's not looking nice to me. If NNPC, that is supposed to be the regulator, now jumps in and starts competing against us, something is just not right. And they went into those resale outlets. Now they are going back into those retail outlets.
Okay.
Let me tell you something.
If you can summon it up in 2 seconds.
Commercialization is not privatization. The painting and changing the logos looks good. But I'm afraid to tell you, since this has happened before, on February 14 in 2008, I was at the middle of the company when people brought in contaminated fuel. We did a report to DPR at that time. I don't know where that report is. 14 years later, in 2022 February, the same thing has happened. My point is, these negative things will continue to happen. NNPC that we see, I pray, like Awolowo, that I'm wrong. But please go and mark it down. We are not yet prepared to resolve our problem. We are not putting square pegs in square holes. We just reeled out names out there. These are, our fault lines. It can't continue. We must restructure and make sure that at the end of the day, people who know their onions should be the minister of petroleum. People who know their onions should be the Minister of State for Petroleum.
As you said, at the end of the day, one thing for sure I will do is that your time is up.
Yes, my time is up.
Time on the show.
But Akin, can I ask you something?
Yes.
If you have more 30 minutes, would it be enough for you to enumerate the expected decadency, facts behind the decadence and all those? Will even 1 hour be enough for you to explain it?
Well, if you want to be fair, I would say 3 hours or 3 hours plus. But because I don't have that, the bottom line is Nigeria is going bankrupt. Nigeria is not
going bankrupt, or we are already bankrupted.
Well, in language of economics, they say going bankrupt. Some people are still wearing agbada, still deceiving themselves, forgetting that what happened in Sri Lanka.
Okay, now Aki, you just given me the answer I needed. I'm leading you somewhere. Now that 15 minutes will not be enough, 3 hours is what you need, which I don't have here as a luxury. Would you be ready to come back here tomorrow to throw more light to this matter? Please, sir.
You see?
You are not under duress.
Not to duress sounds like a word that I'm not sure that.
No, don't move to that angle.
Okay.
So calm down.
So let me stay in that angle. Guru, it will be my pleasure to be here.
Okay.
For the sake of children.
Thank you very much. Obaro, before you commence, would you be prepared to please come tomorrow?
Obaro, may I join to say that while you are thinking about it, you are here tomorrow. Thank you.
Sir, I respond to talk on.
Okay, Obaro, the same question to you. 20 NNPC, now limited. You see the structure of the ownership. Don't forget, the federal, it belongs to the federal government, state government, and local governments. And these are being held by two people. Ministry of Finance Incorporated, 50%. Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated, 50%. The president appoints the Minister of Finance. President today, Muhammadu Buhari, he appoints the Minister of Finance. Don't forget, where Kemi Adeosun left, the president did not deem it fit to go to Ogun State to bring a replacement. Aja came there. I'm not quarreling with that. For today, all the ministers in the cabinet from the north, all only two are Christians. I'm not preaching that here today. But that is number one. The president appoints the minister. The Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated. The Minister of Petroleum Resources today is President Muhammadu Buhari. Timmy Silva is just a spare tire that might not even be used if the 4 tires carry the vehicle to where they're going. So look at all these structures. What hope there for Nigerians? The real Nigerians that are also supposed to benefit from this. When shall the pump that release the fuel into the tank of your car become beneficial to you? Please, you have, since you promised I will come tomorrow, you will have 30 minutes tomorrow. Aki will have only 20 minutes. Then I will share the balance here and there.
Good morning, Saguru. Good morning, Adu. Good morning, Lagosians and listeners all over the world. Guru, the NNPC Limited, I will end with it.
Okay.
I will end with it. For the sake of that, because students are also listening, according to the man who comes on a Thursday, Adeni Ikono, he said this is the University of Lagos. Let me quickly, because it's not every time we have the privilege to always be in the studio.
Yes.
But let me quickly say this, that look, when you talk about the first refinery in this country was built by Shell, was wholly and solely built by Shell, 38,000 barrels per stream day by Shell. Then in 1965, government of Nigeria came to acquire 40% stake
in that share built refinery.
And at the time, professionals were handling the refineries mostly from the private sector. It's a simple refinery anyway. If you've been to Port Harcourt, it's a very, very simple refinery. So professionals mostly from the private sector were handling the refinery, and the refinery was profitable. It was declaring dividend. Thereafter, a survey was carried out, and we needed, as more demand, consumption is increasing, the refinery capacity was now increased in 1965 to 60,000 barrels per day. In 1972, the federal government of Nigeria wholly acquired the first refinery in Nigeria. Progress were also made. Management and organization of the refinery remained unchanged, and the refinery was profitable. And surveys were carried out, and we needed to build another refinery. And the idea to build the Warri refinery was conceived. And after everything, feasibility studies and all that, the refinery was commissioned in 1978 at 100,000 barrels per day. This refinery at 100,000 barrels per day in Warri at the moment, primary product you have to get from the 100,000 barrels per day of crude oil. PMS, your petrol, 13,095,000 petrol.
That 30 liters.
Liters.
That's good.
Per day. Kerosene, 10 million liters per day. No, a kerosene, 6.7 million liters
Per day.
Diesel, 10 million liters
Per day.
As demand increases, then it was also better that we need more refining capacity. Two refineries, additional refineries were to be built. Then in 1980, the Kaduna refineries was built. Please note this. The Kaduna refinery at its current state today has a processing capacity of 110,000 barrels per day. Out of this 110,000 barrels per day, because that refinery was specifically designed to process asphalt, your quota, bitumen, please. It was split into 2 units. The refinery is to process 55,000 barrels per day of crude for PMS, and that gives you less than 6 million liters of PMS per day. Less than 2 million, no, a little above 2 million liters of kerosene, and a little above 4 million liters of diesel per day. That is a Kaduna refinery, but the remaining 55,000 barrels of crude is imported into Nigeria because, look, OPEC as it is today, among all members of OPEC, Nigeria has the best crude, Brent, light, sweet, low sulfur content. So it is not asphaltic. What I mean, asphalt, please, for lack of too much technicalities, is your quota, bitumen, for road tar, construction, and other velocity stream to power boilers and other things, and as the need arises. Saudi Arabia has asphaltic crude oil. So 55% of the remaining balance is imported to be refined and processed in the Kaduna refinery for asphalt and lubricants. Your oil, C40, 20W50, and so many of them like that. As you can see, your lubricant. Please, I want you to get this. Then the Port Harcourt refinery was built at 150,000 barrels per day. The 150,000 barrels per day added to 60,000 barrels per day brings it to 210,000 barrels per day. As of today, current installation at 90% operating capacity. What I mean here now is this: you cannot run your equipment at 100%. So the refinery can only run industry practice at 90%, and at 90%, the Port Harcourt refineries produces close to 23 million liters of PMS per day if it is 90% operational, and produces 16.8 million liters of diesel. I am saying this now because so that we should also ask the NNPC and the importers of PMS, what is the volume, the quantity of PMS you paying subsidy on? It's the reason I'm explaining all these ones so that we should know it. And also produces 10.1 million liters of kerosene per day. That is for the
Port Harcourt
refinery. At the time the Port Harcourt refineries was built, initially it was supposed to be 100,000 barrels per day. The second one, there was another one that was supposed to be built in Calabar, which is 100,000 barrels per day. Feasibility study, engineering, design, and everything has been concluded. Consultancy paid. Right of way acquired. That project was abandoned by the Nigerian government. They can explain that.
You mean the government?
Yes.
The government should come and explain to Nigerians.
It is not Obaro speaking. It's the data available, created by the government, that I am interpreting as it were. Now, when you look at all this, and Nigeria today, you have 445,000 barrels per day processing capacity. That gives you about 42 million liters of PMS alone.
Per day.
Per day, yes. And if Nigeria is 60 million liters consumption per day, is it the 18 million liters the NNPC is spending, will be spending close to 7 trillion on in the next budget? Please ask them. They should tell us. Having said that, this is all Nigeria refining capacity. I want to chip in on the Dangote refinery for the things you do not know. Please don't sit down in your armchair and criticize, waiting for Obaro to make mistakes so that you can jump on him. No. As it affects you, it affects me. And everybody. I've just been informed now that there is no aviation scarcity. There is aviation scarcity. Fear scarcity. I don't care. You know why? No one cares for the downtrodden who cannot afford kerosene.
Yes.
For over 1,000.
The kerosene that's supposed to be for the poorest.
Let no plane fly. I am happy. Let the president jet has no fear to fly. I am happy. Who fights for you? You live in a country where you flaring gas, and 1 kilogram of gas is almost 1,000 naira. Coming to the Dangote refinery, 650,000 barrels per day processing capacity simply means the refinery will run at 87% to 90%. That refinery can process excess of 700,000 barrels per day crude oil. The refinery is split into two. Actual primary product, which is PMS, kerosene, diesel, is 450,000 barrels per day. The balance of 200,000 barrels per day is reserved for other petrochemicals, e.g., fertilizers, lubricants, and what have you. That is for the Dangote refinery here. As at the moment the Dangote refinery is open, you have about 30,000 workers, contractors, and all of you. And it is easier for you to access the refinery now. It's a wonder. I love it. I am not against it. Dangote, I'm happy for him. But my own concern is that how we Nigerian as a country, government and people, everybody is relying on a single individual to bail them out. It's evil, satanic, not good for you, and it's not going to bring the needed relief to you. Coming back to the Nigerian oil industry.
Because I have 2 minutes more.
2 minutes. Wow. Okay. Coming back to the Nigerian oil industry.
Don't say what. That's why we are coming back tomorrow. Thank you for that.
2 minutes not a problem. I'll compress it. Coming back to the Nigerian oil industry, it is primarily designed to punish you. To benefit a few people.
It is primarily designed to punish some Nigerians and benefit very few.
And benefit very few. The reason is this. First, they conceal oil resources. Because when you see an oil well here, you don't see money. You don't see anything. You don't know what is going on. And you don't even see the crude oil except you are in a flow station. And so because of that, it is shrouded in so much secrecy that you will not be able to know. Look at the composition of the board of directors of the NNPC Limited. The only single Niger Delta, the core Niger Delta that produces the oil.
Only one.
Not even one. If he's the chairman board of directors or in charge of procurement or finance or engineering, then it's different. He's in charge of environment. Do you understand?
He's in charge of environment.
Environment, yes. Further taking him away from
the main,
from the center of activity. It has been the Nigerian government tactics. It has always been this. Even the IOCs themselves, it has always been this. That is the reason why they never built their headquarters in where the money is coming from. They take it away from the people to connive with a few individuals to give a semblance that they are a carry company. No. It took the government of the country 21 years to establish NNPC. Before then, 17 years before NNPC creation, you have the Nigerian National Oil Company that Decree 33 of 1977 brought to NNPC. You should get all this clear. So, how many seconds do I have left?
About 3.
3 seconds. Okay. So, for you to know, like the last time I was here, I said there was the first scarcity being experienced was artificial. Please, we have the records of all the jetties, all 21 NNPC depots. We have the record. Then, that was for February. The last June, May, June, and July scarcity you've been experiencing is also artificially created. I said it on another forum that IPMAN and MOMAN, which is the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, we are responsible for this scarcity. Let me tell you, if there is real scarcity, how you will know? If supply chain is broken for 2 weeks, which is 10 working days, it will not be restored. First, to boost the local man consumption confidence, you will see the scarcity really tighten up. But when you see scarcity, that the moment they've been sorted out, within 24 hours, fuel is everywhere. It is artificially created. What this means is that your own people are the one punishing you. They haven't you been to the filling stations, all of a sudden you just see them, they're not selling again. They have PMS. And I can prove it. And for the president of IPMAN, who denied this, please, your press conferences alone, let me quote only the one of 23 June 2002. When you back down on price increase, the current pump price you experience today is not subsidy removal. No. It is to take care of the profit margin of these people that markets. I am not saying you don't deserve it, but the truth be said, I'm not a member of IPMAN, no MOMAN. But the records available to me is what is speaking. And even dated back 15 December 2021, you'll be fighting for total deregulation. I ask you, with the current PIA, you, IPMAN, which of your members can import PMS into this country? I challenge you.
Okay, hold the challenge. Whoa. Thank you very, very, very. Hold the challenge. You cannot know that you are even just going into the narratives. Our listeners, we should open the line for you. And but before the line is open, let me announce to you that the Adu and the Guru, who is the content creator of all the events happening here, had segments. You have historical perspective. You have the main discussion from menu. You have Periscope, which we brandish as periscoping, which is good English, of course. Some dictionary will reject it. Then you have the knowledge drop box. And I'm very, very happy to announce that I've been able to get a sponsor for historical perspective. That shall be from August. But then I will unveil the name. So we are asking for sponsor, please. Do you want this program to keep alive? So you want us to keep it alive, or you want it dead? Friends of the Guru that are supposed to be happy creating the content, I have a word for you next week. I cannot say it now because it's not going to be good news, because people will know what is happening with the Friends of the Guru. So, but as from August now, the historical perspective has sponsorship now, and I think we shall be riding like that. Then I have a birthday meet. Her name is Betty Williams. It's Betty Williams. And coincidentally, Obaro, she is the third person to my wife. She's my wife, but we share the same day, 26 July. Betty, happy birthday to you in advance. I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, I've crossed over. You've crossed over too. So, Adu, for a few minutes, open the line. Just going to be a few minutes. Please, if you enjoy the program, permit the few minutes we are giving now. But by the grace of God, tomorrow we are going to have a functional season. I may not be here, but my guests will not be interrupted at all. Adu, please do a good job. Review the paper for only 1 minute on my behalf. Then let the remaining one, because these are what Nigerians want to know this. Because this afternoon, I'm leaving to my village. Don't worry, I'll be listening to you from Ikogu in Obaro, in Delta State. That is my village for my birthday celebration, because I do it better in the village with my bottle of ogogoro, with fresh sweet pepper soup, with bottle and spoon. Naki pakakakakata. Minyeri, go ahead, Adu.
All right, let's take some few phone calls. The numbers are 0809-234-5913. Please turn off your radio when you call us. That also is a WhatsApp number for the station. We'll read one or two before we wrap things up here. There's also a landline number you can call. 015150913 is a number to call us on. If you're a lady, please use these numbers to get to us. 0809-191-3913. 0809-191-3913. It's specially dedicated to female callers. So let's start with this one here. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Adu.
Hello, Peter. Quickly now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to everybody.
Peter, please, today you will not have the whole minute. Please collaborate with me or conspire with me.
I want to go for 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Go ahead.
Now, yes, I wait for tomorrow to make comment on from what the gentleman are saying. God will give me the grace. But the one I want to talk about in that same second is this. If the terrorists have told Mr. President that they want to kidnap him, find that they want to kidnap the two of them, please, before they are kidnapped, they should get those people in the forest released. Those that the terrorists are flocking, they should get our men, our women, our children released before they get kidnapped. That's just my own this morning.
Thank you very much. Concerning that, Adu, have you watched the video clip?
The one from terrorist.
Yes.
Oh, gory.
Terrible. Your comment on Buhari trade that they will kidnap him, keep it for tomorrow, because we talk about that, because we want to probe further. Is Buhari one of them that he goes against them, that they are threatening him? Of course, that will be for tomorrow. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
No, this is Mr. Love calling from my brother.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Silas, I'm calling from.
Okay, you have half a minute today, please. Half a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, not up to that. I've listened to all of your analysis made by the gentleman there. Having mentioned all these things, what are the solutions to this? Because most of us are not in that field. Thank you.
Okay, the solution, listen tomorrow. Please, tomorrow. You will get it.
Hello.
Good morning, Guru.
Good morning,
gentlemen in the studio.
Good morning, Akin.
This is Akpan speaking.
Yes, please, go on.
The Guru.
Yes, sir.
When we said we are designed to fail, what does that tell you with all the things they have said in the studio? They are aware of all these things, yet the poor masses, because of lack of education, when the national cock and bull story, we believe them. After quite how many $1 billion that they want to fix the refinery, with all the results, we are still designed to fail. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, quickly now, WhatsApp. David says, good morning, Ugadhe and Guru. Your intro song by the legendary Sonny Okosun is timeless, and it should be played always during FEC meeting and National Assembly plenaries. To reawaken. Would they?
Who own the land?
No, which way?
It's part of who own the land now. Which way? All right.
Kazim says, good morning, Guru and Adu. My question is, Can you guys please analyze the implication of Dangote Refinery on price of petroleum products in Nigeria when it starts production?
No, there is more you will hear than the Dangote man, because the man has gone so far. But whoever that is sitting is thinking that Dangote will bring fuel for you free of charge when he's borrowing money now as a businessman to invest is a terrible thing. Please, Obaro, please, tomorrow, remember the angle of the 20% acquisition by the federal government and why that 20% was rushed. And could that 20% has paid down? Was it not almost the same thing with which a full refinery in America, which had 650,000 barrel capacity refining, was that not what? You know what? I mean, you have the facts. But hold that for tomorrow. Go ahead.
Jennifer joins us to say, good morning, Adu. Good morning, Guru. I just want to say happy birthday to both Guru and me. No wonder I love listening to him.
Oh, who is this?
Jennifer. She's a listener of the show.
Jennifer is... Oh, Jennifer, okay. You are my birthday partner. Okay, come. So Adu has given me cat because it's a la carte. So he gave me cat. Somebody I promised dog to. A la carte. So cat is coming.
Just make sure the dog is hot. So it's hot dogs. Wale says, good morning, Adu and Guru. Terrorists had entered NDA airport, broke into prison to rescue fellow terrorists, not to mention thousands of Nigerians that have been killed and kidnapped. Now, Buhari, quote unquote, local. What will be the implication of this?
Okay. Well, before you read another one, I want to thank Andy Uche. Uche Andy is the owner of Ginger and Garlic Fast Foods Limited. Okay, you are limited, like NNPC Limited, all right. Now, for years, Uche Andy has always supplied my guests food. And because of my birthday, he sent some coolers. Gentlemen, we share it little. You will have a little before you go away to take home. It's from Andy Uche. Andy, we thank you. We appreciate you. Go ahead.
All right. Let me read a few tweets. Adegboyega Adedeji joins us on Twitter. He says, the late Obadiah Malafia told us that some bandits he encountered in course of investigation told him that there's a particular northern governor that is head of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Why he's asking now, did the bandits call out only El Rufai? A simple question, Adu, to the guest. Is it true that our refineries are working, but those in powers are telling us another thing?
Okay. They will give you the answer tomorrow.
Okay.
Please. How do you itemize these things?
Oh, please. Yes, please. This is from Samuel. Says, if you're a patriotic Nigerian, desire knowledge to know what has set us back, please tune in to listen to tomorrow, the Guru and Adu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This person says, Adu, listening to Guru's guest analyze the decays and mess in our oil sectors leaves me in tears. And I ask, which way Nigeria? Okechukwu Eze is saying, where do we go, Adu?
And it left him in tears. Whip not child.
I did a quick Google search just to buttress this. In 1972, the Naira exchanged to the dollar at 0.6 Naira.
Yes.
Dollar.
Because in 1982, February 1982, the Naira exchanged to dollar 78 Naira. Kobo. No, 78 Kobo will give you $1. As of yesterday, that same $1 is now 645 Naira. Where Nigeria had fallen to.
Okay,
what's the time? Oh my God.
Let me take one more phone call.
Okay, take one more phone call because there's a historical knowledge robust.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Stephen. I'm calling from Yaba.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Adu Akunu. My worry in this country is this. We have all what God gave us to be a rich country, to make everybody in this country to be happy, to be okay. But one particular people, some individuals, decided to convert it to their own usage. Our refinery has been working for years. I will build a refinery here in this country. some people, they don't want this refinery to work. Why are people so selfish? And another one is this.
No, sorry, sir, today, you have half a minute. I'm sorry, my apology. Modobale, I prostrate here, please. God bless you. Okay.
Time for knowledge drop.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's time for Knowledge Drop Box.
Here we are back with the Knowledge Drop Box. My mother taught me to respect women. She taught me solid enough before she died. That is why I respect women at all time. This one I will give for Coast. This knowledge drop. Listen to it. Who was the first woman to have purchased a car in what was later to become Nigeria? Meaning, in this country, who was the first woman to have purchased a car? Please know the difference. Know the difference. The first woman to purchase a car might not necessarily be the first woman to drive a car. The first woman to purchase a car in Nigeria, her name is Efuroye Tinubu. That Tinubu has nothing to do with Bola Tinubu. I mean Tinubu, please. Because Efuroye Tinubu became the first Iyalode Egba, and she was born around 1805. Yes.
1805.
Yes. And she was a slave trader.
Oh.
And for that one car she bought, she shipped 500 slaves out that are mounted. Oh, you want to calculate his head, that are mounted to the car. And when the car was brought, she never drove it. It was like she rented it to some white men. Her name again is Efuroye Tinubu, and I repeat, this Tinubu has nothing to do with the Bola Ahmed Tinubu of today. She was the first Iyalode of Egba, and Bola Tinubu is a Lagosian. It's not any other tribe. So that is number one. Two, cause are you taking note? Okay. Who is the first female judge in Nigeria? The first female judge in Nigeria, her name is Aloma Miriam Mukhtar. She was the first ever woman appointed to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and she rose to become the first, and today, the only Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Okay, do I like the female folks?
Oh, yes.
Because my mother taught me to respect them. My daughter, I do respect you very well. Okay. Then, the first man to have driven a car in what's become Nigeria today, the first man to drive a car, his name is Sir Thomas Jones. This other aspect of it, let me not quit it. He drove his first car in 1913. A Nigerian, not foreigner. Who was the first lawyer in Nigeria? The first lawyer in Nigeria is Chief Christopher Alexander Sakpara Williams. 14th July 1855. He was born on 14th July 1855, and he died on 15 March 1915. He was the first indigenous Nigeria lawyer. Can I continue, Adu?
We'll have continued, but our time,
Okay.
We'll take one more.
Last one. Who is the first female governor in Nigeria? And remain only one as to talk. Dame Virginia Ugozi Etiaba. She was deputy to Peter Obi. And Peter Obi was impeached. And the day Peter Obi was impeached, the mace was carried away from Anambra, brought to Asaba in Delta State, and the people sat in Asaba to impeach him. And the offense of Peter Obi was that he refused to change the shares and everything in the governor office, because the members of his own party had prepared somebody, one of them, who will take the contract. Peter Obi said, nothing wrong with this share. I'm the governor. I can use this share. This was why Peter Obi was impeached. And Madam Virginia Ngozi Etiaba she remained the first female governor in Nigeria. So at this, first of all, I must thank is the food here now? Okay. Akin, thank you very, very much for coming, and thank you for tomorrow. We are going on there tomorrow by 9 o'clock, not 9:30.
I have to thank you, and I have to, since you are going to Obaro tomorrow, I have to say something to you.
Okay.
There are millions of Nigerians and friends of Nigeria who will never have the privilege either talking to you or seeing you. And they have asked me to say a happy birthday to you, and that I should give this to you. It's Sandbox Wisdom, Growing Your Business with the Genius of a Childhood by Tom Asaka.
Oh, thank you very much. That's
on behalf of those who have the privilege of coming to see you, people like Obaro, the refiner of Pure Gold, and Adu, and so many others that call in. We are presenting this to you: secrets of the world class, turning mediocrity into greatness by Steve Seabold. Please, congratulations, and many happy returns. When you go to Obaro,
yes, sir.
Watch your front, watch your back, watch your right, watch your left, because Nigeria is very safe.
Yes.
Thank you.
One thing for sure, I can promise I will not do. I will not be among those that will go and kidnap Buhari. So, Obaro, thank you very, very much with the promise of giving. Cameraman, thank you very, very much. And Ro.
Yes, Ro.
Do something. He's the one in charge of the food with Rukat.
Yes.
So I want to appreciate all of you. You can follow me on Twitter at Godwin_Webo. Facebook is Godwin_Webo. There is a column created. There is a page created in Facebook called Vetra Column. You can follow. Visit my website www.godwintheguru.com. Please, YouTube. My channel there is Godwin the Guru. You can visit all of them. Once again, I appreciate all of you. And for you fans out there who have been praying for me, your prayer is very, very, very necessary at this point in time. I thank all of you. Until we shall meet again, immediately after coming back from Obaro, until we shall meet, please keep yourself out of trouble. Bye-bye.